So if you sign up for koreanclass101.com for free, by the way, we do have a paid membership, but to download these materials, you do not need paid membership. And yeah, if you are logged in, you will see a page like this. Let me show it to you. Ooh, 16 printable Korean worksheets. Not only that, wow, yes, if you download, you can download these worksheets and print out and practice writing. So check out the link in the description. These are free. Okay, advertisement is over. And let's start today's lesson since we have many students joined already. Rosabella and Erinas. Sorry about foreign names. If you write your name in Korean, I can read better. Daisy and Eramesor, Chris, Gap, and 김재씨, Anna. Okay, so we have many students waiting on Facebook too. Okay, Janet, 안녕하세요. And Jeff, 안녕하세요. 디샤, 어떻게 지내세요? 저는 잘 지내요. Venus, it's not late here. It's just 1 p.m. No, 1-3 here. Kishore, bonjour. And Emily. Okay, so today's topic is about this. 따란! 으니까. It means because, so, since. So before explaining about this grammar, I prepared this dialogue between 침침 and me. And learn Japanese. Yes, 수고합시다. And Saha, Serena, 안녕하세요. Miss Amy loves K-pop and 방탄소년단. Awesome. 침침 is the master student. Exactly. So 침침 is saying this. 오늘 뭐 할래요? 오늘 뭐 할래요? 오늘, today. 뭐 means what. 할래요 has two words conjugated. One is 하다, meaning to do. And 을래요, it means want to, or would like to. So it literally means today, what? Do you see this? 오늘, today, 뭐, what? 할, do, want. So today, what do want? In natural English, it will be, what do you want to do today? What would you like to do today? 침침 is asking me, 오늘 뭐 할래요? So I'm saying this. 날씨가 좋으니까 공원에 가요. 날씨가 좋으니까 공원에 가요. 날씨가 좋으니까 공원에 가요. So let's break down the sentence. 날씨, weather. 가 is the particle, is the subject marking particle. 좋 is from 좋다, meaning good. So it literally means 날씨가 좋다, the weather is good. And 으니까, today's target grammar, which is because or since. So in English, you put because at the end of the at the beginning of the sentence like this. Because the weather is good. Because the weather is good. Since the weather is good. You put before the sentence or before the clause. But in Korean, it's different. We put after the clause. And we conjugate it with verb or adjective directly. We'll talk about it very soon, so don't worry if you don't understand. So 날씨가 좋으니까 it literally means since the weather is good, because the weather is good. Or it can be so because, well, you put so after the clause, after this clause. Sometimes in English it's translated into so, but in Korean it's actually more like because or since. Yes. And 공원. What is 공원? Park. And now we have a particle 에 meaning to. So it's direction particle. To the park. So 공원에 means to the park. 가요 means let's go or go. So 크리스 감사합니다. Thank you so much for your donation. 정말 감사합니다. So let's study hard today. 감사합니다. So 날씨가 좋으니까 because the weather is good. 공원에 가요. Let's go to the park. Let's go to the park. Quite exactly. 오늘 수업은 으니까입니다. 오늘 수업은 으니까에 대해서 공부할 거예요. And 침침이생. 좋아요. 공원에 가니까 도시락도 준비할게요. 좋아요. 공원에 가니까 도시락도 준비할게요. 좋아요. It literally means good, great, sounds great, sounds good. 공원에 가다, we just learned about it, right? 공원에 가다, it means going to the park, go to the park. 니까, again, it means since, because. So 공원에 가니까 it means since we go to the park, since I go to the park. 도시락도 준비할게요. What is 도시락? 도시락. It means lunchbox, lunchbox, lunchbox. 도 means also or to. Also means to. 준비할게요 means I'll prepare, I'll prepare. So 좋아요. 공원에 가니까 도시락도 준비할게요. Great. Since we are going to the park, because we are going to the park, I'll also prepare a lunchbox. And Keijin, me say, 저도요. Me too, me too. I'll prepare lunchbox too. So, 침침 is so cute. I know. Okay, so this is a basic conversation and this is how we use it in natural conversation in Korean. And you see, 으니까, how we use 으니까, right? We, as you can see here, we use 니까 or 으니까 to express the reason or cause. So in English, it's more like because or since, because or since. But please be careful with the location. So, for example, in English, you can say, I like 침침. I like, 침침이 because he's cute. 침침 is so cute. So like this. Because 침침 is cute. Because 침침 is cute. You put because before he is cute, right? Before he is cute. Like this. Because he is cute. But in Korean, the word order is very different. We say 침침이가 귀여우니까 침침이가 좋아요. So someone asks, why do you like 침침? Why do you always bring 침침 to every lesson? So I said, I like 침침 because he's cute. 침침이가 귀여우니까 침침이가 좋아요. 침침이가 귀여우니까 I'm putting because he's cute at the beginning. And you put because before the clause, but I put because after the clause. 침침이가 귀여우니까. So it literally means 침침 cute. 침침 is cute because. So it explained, this become one clause explaining the reason or cause. And 침침이가 좋아요. It's just I like 침침. It's the result, right? 침침. So this is a reason or cause, and the second clause is the result. So in English, I like 침침이 because he's cute. So the word order is very different, right? You usually put at the beginning, and the reason comes after. So when I talk to English speakers and Korean speakers, I realize one thing. Usually when English speakers want to say something, they say their opinion first. I like 침침. And then they give the reason. Because he's cute, he's kind, he's smart, and he always introduce lots of Korean grammar, so I like him. So you first, I like 침침, and you often explain. And I work in Korean class 101, and my colleagues are all English speakers, and they often talk like that. They say their opinion, and then they give the reasons. But very often, Korean people say a lot of reasons. Oh, in my opinion, Chim is very cute and kind. He introduced lots of Korean culture and Korean grammars. So I like Chim. So this is how Korean people often say. So sometimes Korean people, when you talk to Korean people, they will explain a lot of things and you are not sure what are they talking about. And you have to listen until the end because Korean people often say what they want to say at the end of the sentence. So in Korean proverb or common Korean saying, we say, to understand a sentence, you have to listen until the end because Korean people put the important phrase at the end. But anyway, this is all about some Korean culture stuff. So basically, 으니까 and 니까 means just because, since, and the word order is different, so please be careful. And 코아티 서 ending is different type of because exactly I'll introduce it very soon, so please wait a little bit. 스토아 감사합니다. 감사합니다. And you speak like Korean now. So this was the example sentence, right? 날씨가 좋으니까 공원에 가요. So the weather is good. Let's go to the park. So 으니까 explains the reason or cause. So 날씨가 좋으니까 because the weather is good. Let's go to the park. 공원에 가니까 도시락도 준비할게요. Since we are going to the park, because we are going to the park, I'll prepare lunchbox. So let's see how we do conjugate these ones. So I keep saying 니까 or 으니까, right? 니까, 으니까. 니까 or 으니까. When can I use 니까 and when can I use 으니까? If you following my Venus, I'll explain it very soon too. So I'll also explain the 때문에, 어서 very soon. So please wait. So let's talk about conjugation first. So as you probably noticed, 짠, 공원에 가니까. So verb or adjective stem ending in vowels, then we use 니까. For example, how about this? Let's use this same verb that I showed in the example. So 가다 meaning to go. I go to school, I go to park, I go to work. 가다. And I want to conjugate it. How? First, get the verb stem. What's the verb stem? Verb or adjective stem? Just remove 다. Korean verb. Oops. Korean verb or adjective always end with 다 in the dictionary form. In the dictionary form, you will find 가다, 먹다 always end with 다. So remove 다. Then you only have 가. 가 is the stem. Let's see. 가, Ooh, it ended with a vowel sound. So let's use 니까. So it's 가니까. 가니까, what does it mean? It means like because I go. But I didn't put subject, so I don't know if it's I go or we go, you go, he goes, or she goes, I don't know. Or they go, I don't know. Because there is no subject here. 가니까 just means because someone goes, because, or I go, because I go. How about this? So now I want to say 먹다, my favorite verb, 먹다. In meaning yum 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 to eat. Oh, Kailon, you love chimchim. Me too. Okay, so 먹다. What's the stem? Just remove 다. That's it. Then you will get the stem. 먹 is a stem without 다. So verb or adjective without 다 is a stem. So now 먹. Who do you see? This 기억 is kind of sounds like K. 먹. So it ended with consonant, right? Consonant. So you use 으니까. 먹으니까, it means like because I or we or he or she or they eat, because I eat. 먹으니까. So this is how we use it. It's very similar to other Korean conjugations, right? When something ends in vowel, then we use this. When something ends in consonant, we often use some conjugations start with iung, like this, right? So there are two, 니까 and 으니까. And 니까 is used with the verb or adjective stem ending in vowels, or we use 으니까 with the verb or adjective stem ending in consonant. Clear? All good? Lee, you're from Laos. Hello. Okay, 지금 먹방. Oh, yes, it's from 먹다. 과티, that's right. 먹으니까. Okay, so for those of you who are at intermediate levels and who already study irregulars, I want to introduce quickly. But if you're a beginner and you haven't learned irregulars, please don't worry. These are the exceptions, and as you know, exceptions are always hard. And very often, 짜자잔, very often, verb follows this rule. Verb follows this rule. Verb or adjective follow this rule. Only a few verb or adjective follows this exception, so don't worry if you are beginner, you will learn it in the future. Or if you want to learn more about irregulars, check out my previous lesson about irregulars, so don't worry. But I'll introduce quickly. So for those of you who are intermediate learners, intermediate level now. So when you conjugate with 으니까, this real irregular become 사니까. It's not 살니까. Remember, we removed 리을 from 살. So it becomes 사 ended with vowel. So we use 니까, 사니까. It means because I live. 살다 means to live. I live in Korea. You live in... Oh, you live in... Jasmine, you live in India. Like this, 살다. And how about 디귿 irregular that we learned? For example, 듣다. So it's not 듣으니까. It become 들으니까. Not all verb or adjective that has 디귿 in stem are irregulars. Some verb are irregular, some verb are regular. So check out my previous lesson. But it becomes 들으니까. 디귿 becomes 리을. How about this? 낫다, something is better. By the way, 듣다 means to listen. 낫다 means to get better. Or something is just better. So, I'm better than 침침. Like this. It's just an example. We are equal. Or, I think apple is better than persimmon. Like this. So, 낫다. Or, I feel better. I was sick and I feel better. So, I'm 낫다. So, 나으니까. So we remove 시옷 and it become 나으니까. 으니까, we use 으니까. And if you conjugate it with 디샤, good job. Yes, 나으니까. And 쿼티 들으니까, correct. And for 비읍 irregulars, anyone who remember? 덥다 means too hot. It's hot. hot. 덥다. It's not 더우니까, it's 더우니까. So 비읍 is replaced with 우, 더우니까. 노랗다 meaning to be yellow. So this clothes is yellow because it's yellow. 노라니까. We just remove here. So these are irregulars. Even in English, there are lots of irregulars, right? For example, I eat. The past tense is not I eat it, it's I ate. So you have to memorize it. And in Korean, we do have irregulars. But irregulars kind of have the rules. So check out my previous lesson. I already did all this lesson. But if you're beginners, don't worry. You don't have to memorize all of them now. Just the thing that you need to memorize is this. The conjugation. 니까, 으니까. Good. Okay, so this one was for my intermediate students who have been following my lessons for many years. Okay, so let's practice. So if you know the answer, please write it. So first, I want to conjugate it 먹다, to eat, 냠냠냠냠, with 으니까. What's the answer? Let's see. 먹, it ended with consonants. So I'm using 먹으니까. It means because I eat. Because I eat. I feel better. Because I ate. Because I was so hungry. So 먹으니까 살 것 같아. 살 것 같아 literally means I feel like I can live. Because I was too hungry, so I thought I'm dying. 먹으니까 살 것 같아. 먹으니까 because I eat. Good job, good job. Good job, 디샤, 디아. And LJ, good. And 오빠 사랑. And 좋다 means good and 좋아하다 is like. That's right. However, 좋다 can also mean to like. It depends on the sentence. You need to see the context. And next, 비싸다. 비싸다. It means to be expensive. It's too expensive. It's too expensive to buy it. I can't buy it because it's too expensive. 비싸. Good job, Mansha and Dia and Disha. Good, great job. 참 비싸니까. I'm using 니까, not 으니까 because 비싸, it ended with vowel sound. And now this 읽다 meaning to read. I read books. Oh, now I understand this concept because I read book. 책 읽으니까 알겠다. 책 읽으니까 알겠어. Because I read it, I now understand it. So 읽으니까 I'm using 으니까 because it ended with ik. Consonant. So 읽으니까. 예예님 감사합니다. You are so kind and sweet. And Pallavi, I'm so happy to hear that. How about this? Is 보으니까 or 보니까? The answer is 보니까. Because I see, because I watch, because I look. 보니까, because the stem end with vowel sound. Now we have this. 웃다. 웃다, to laugh. 웃다. Should I say 웃니까 or 웃으니까? It's 웃으니까 because 웃 ended with consonant. So I'm using 으니까. Okay, so all good. Good job, everyone. You understand it. So let me explain about this. 아어서 and 으니까. 아어서. If you followed my lesson, you probably remember 아어서. Teacher, you said 아어서 also means because. Because. And this one is because. How can I distinguish? Which one should I use? Yes, so basically these mean the same, but there are differences. This one can be used interchangeably, but sometimes not. Then what's the case? Let me introduce that now. So 짜자자자잔. First, 아서, 어서. This cannot be used in a request or a comment. For example, let's go to the park because the weather is good. Here, you can never use 날씨가 좋아서 공원에 가자. You never say that. For a request or comment, buy this bag because it's cheap. You never say it because it's a comment. You are giving an order like do this. You never use 아서, 어서. Nope, you do not use it. You only use 니까. So when second clause is a request or a comment or order, giving order, you always need 니까 or 으니까. That's why in the example I said the weather is good, so let's go to the park. It's like request. In that case, you cannot use 어서, 아서. For a request or comment, please use 으니까. That's a big difference. Second difference. For 아서, 어서, before 아서, 어서, you do not use the past tense. You do not use past tense before 아서, 어서. So, for example, 가다, the past tense of 가다 is 갔다, meaning past tense. I went. 공원에 갔어서, because I went to the park. You never conjugate it this way. Because I went to the park, then you use 으니까. 갔었으니까. 공원에 갔었으니까. So, how did you know 침침 was in the park, Keijin? How did you know 침침 went to the park yesterday? I know that because I went to the park yesterday and I saw him. 공원에 갔었으니까 알아. 공원에 갔었으니까 알아. I know. 공원에 갔었으니까 because I went to the park. And you never say 공원에 갔어서 알아. 공원에 갔어서 알아. Some people say that, but actually it's not very, very natural. So when you want to conjugate it with a past tense, with this 아서, 어서, then please use 니까 instead. And for 아서, 어서, very often you use for some general reason. And 으니까 for some subjective reason. What does that mean? So for example, let's say it rains a lot. So it floats. So it rained a lot, so it floats. In that case, we use 아서, 어서 more commonly because it's a general reason. It's obviously when it rains a lot, then it got flood. It just rains too much. It's a general reason. So 비가 많이 와서 홍수가 났어요. So it's a general reason. It floods because it rains a lot. It's very natural, right? 비가 많이 와서 홍수가 났어요. But for 니까, it's just my own opinion. Very often, 비가 많이 왔으니까, 비가 많이 오니까, let's go to the park. 비가 많이 오니까 공원에 가요. 비가 많이 오니까 공원에 와요. It's not very natural. It's not like very natural or general reason, right? It's my personal opinion because maybe I like rainy season. I like the sound of rain. So it's my subjective reason. It's my personal opinion. So when I explain about my personal opinion, not just general reasons like natural reasons, it's just my personal opinion. Like, 비가 오니까 공원에 가고 싶어요. 비가 오니까 공원에 가고 싶어요. Then very often we use 니까. It's my opinion. The reason is based on my personal experience and my personal reasons. So 니까. And 짠 and 아서, 어서 is often used with this expression. 미안하다, sorry. 늦어서 미안해, sorry I'm late. So in this case, when you use sorry, which is 미안하다 or 죄송하다, we use 아서, 어서. 반갑다. We use this verb. Nice to meet you. 만나서 반가워요. We don't say 만났으니까 반가워요. Always 만나서. So with this 미안하다, 죄송하다, 반갑다, and 고맙다, 감사하다. 고맙다, 감사하다 means thank you. So thank you for coming. 와줘서 고마워요. 와줘서 감사합니다. So thank you for something is always 아서, 어서, 감사합니다. Okay, Disha, that's right. So personal opinion, we use 으니까. So these are the big differences. And I noticed a lot of people mixed this 아서 and 으니까. And Korean learners that often mix this 아서 and 으니까. So please remember this point. So you never use 아서, 어서 with request or comment. If you want to use it with request or comment, then please use 니까, 으니까. And also for your personal opinion, personal reasons, then you use 으니까, 으니까. But if it's a very natural reason, like I hate Chim because he's always angry. It's not very natural, right? It's more like 니까. 침침이는 항상 화를 내니까 침침이가 싫어. But I want to give more like natural reason. So for example, I'm trying to think about the reason. For example, my radio is broke. My phone is broke. So I bought a phone. 핸드폰이 고장나서 핸드폰을 샀어요. My phone is broken. My phone is broken. So I bought a phone. It's for a very natural reason. It's not my personal opinion. It's more like natural cause and result that everyone can agree and everyone can expect. So that's the big difference. But very often we can use interchangeably. For example, 핸드폰이 고장났으니까 핸드폰을 샀어요. That's also okay because you want to kind of emphasize as my personal opinion. So sometimes it's used interchangeably. But the general nuance is like also is for general reasons and 으니까 is for subjective, my personal opinion. 옌. And 때문에. Yes. That's right. So we also have 때문에. And we also have 으므로. So let's talk about 으므로. It means because to. But this one is often read in writing. Or more like formal speaking. I never say 음으로. 날씨가 좋음으로 공원에 갑시다. I don't say that. 음으로, very often we use it for writing. 음으로. And 때문에 is okay, but when you want to emphasize the reason, we often say 때문에. But very often we use 아서, 어서, or 으니까. 때문에 is not very commonly used. Unless we want to specifically emphasize because of you. 너 때문에. 너 때문에. Unless we really want to emphasize the reason so much, like 나 blah blah 때문에. Very often we just use 아서, 어서, or 으니까. But I noticed a lot of Korean learners are using 때문에 in conversation. But again, this is not very common, 때문에. Because very often 아서, 어서, and 으니까 gives just reason to the second clause. What you want to say is the second clause. For example, the weather is good, so let's go to the park. What you want to say is let's go to the park, right? But you are just giving the reason for let's go to the park, which is the weather is good, so let's go to the park. But 때문에, it gives a strong emphasis for the reason. 날씨가 좋기 때문에 공원에 가자. So 때문에, it gives more emphasis to the reason, and it's, in many cases it's not very natural. What you want to say is the second clause, right? Okay. 예, exactly. 너 때문에 졌어. I lost because of you. Yeah, exactly. That sentence is very good. Yeah, 너 때문에 졌어. I lost because of you. Yeah, now you want to emphasize you. It's because of you. Okay, so that was a big difference. And Luin, that's a good sentence. 늦어서 죄송해요. Here, 죄송해요. 죄송해요 is often used with 아서, 어서. Good job. 마에 or 매매. Good job. 비빔밥이 맛있어서 많이 먹었어요. Because bibimbap is very delicious, I ate it. It's just very natural, right? It's delicious, so I ate a lot. So everyone can think, oh, That's very reasonable, very logical. That makes sense. So 비빔밥이 맛있어서 많이 먹었어요. That's good. Or you can also say 비빔밥이 맛있었으니까 많이 먹었어요. But actually it's more natural with 아서어서 because that's what everyone can think of it, right? Oh, delicious? So you did a lot? That makes sense. So 아서어서 is more natural. But you can also say 으니까 because in that case maybe everyone around you didn't like bibimbap. I don't like bibimbap. But why? And they are saying, why did you eat bibimbap? I don't like it. And you say, 비빔밥이 맛있었으니까 많이 먹었어요. Because it's delicious. 비빔밥이 맛있으니까 많이 먹었어요. Because it's delicious. So I ate a lot. So that case you can use it. But the big difference is this. Okay, so today we talk about this 으니까 or 니까 meaning because, so, since. It expresses reason or cause in English. As I mentioned, it means because or so, since. And when you conjugate with verb or adjective with 으니까 or 니까, then this is a rule. So there are 니까 or 으니까. 니까 is used when the verb coming before 니까 or 으니까 ending with vowel. So if the verb or adjective stem ending in a vowel, then you use 니까. If the verb or adjective stem ends in a consonant, then you use 으니까. Okay, so thank you very much for watching today's video. It's a lot. But you did great job today. Good job. And thank you very much for your comment. I'm glad that you understand it today. Kejun, yes, 매워서 물을 마셔요. 매워서. So why are you drinking water? 매워서 물을 마셔요. It's very natural, right? Spicy? Drinking water? Oh, that's the very natural reason. So next week I'll be back with a new topic, which is 짜자자자자자잔. I'll introduce the Korean national anthem. So it will be May 19th, 1 p.m. in Korean time, which means the time will be different in your country. So Korean national anthem is called 애국가, 애국가. And everyone in Korea knows 애국가. So let's break down the lyrics and learn some vocabulary and expressions and the song together. 애국가, 애국가. So please join in again and I hope to see you again. Aziz, Andre, and Taewon, and A, Sasha, Serana, and Disha. Oh, you know the anthem already. Veronique. Great. And 사랑신, and 마이마이. Oh. Anna and Erami. I make a lot of mistake with your name today. 에라메스 and 피에. 감사합니다. So I'll see you next week. Bye bye. And 침침 also want to say bye bye to you too. Bye bye. 감사합니다. 다음 주에 봐요. Oh, I was about to miss. Learn Japanese. 감사합니다. Woo! So thank you so much for your donation. And JD, you can't wait. Me too, I cannot wait to teach you Korean 애국가. And 스토아, 에밀리 감사합니다. Homework. Yes, if you want me to check your sentence, then let me write it down here. Make a sentence using 으니까. Please leave a comment on our Facebook and YouTube on Korean Class 101 channels, koreanclass101.com, YouTube and Facebook. Or if you personally want me to check your homework, this is my super on the vacation. So I only check the Instagram, and if you don't tag me, I cannot see you. And I missed a lot of people's story previously, so I'm really sorry, but I try not to miss it this time. Sorry. And then this is my Instagram, so tag me if you want me to check and give you correction. 괌! Brilliant! 감사합니다. So 다음 주에 봐요. 안녕!